Hey, what's going on? Today I'm going to do a product review of the GlenDel 3D buck. This is the 200-pound version. I guess they call it the Pre-Rut buck. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and some modifications that I've done to it to make it a little sturdier. I'm going to do a quick unboxing and then go right through everything that I have to say about the product. I'm not affiliated with the company at all. These are just my own personal opinions and observations after using it. And I might add that I put over 1,000 arrows into it, so you'll get a good idea how it's going to hold up over time. Okay, the box says GlenDel's buck 4-sided replaceable core offers up to 5 times more shooting surface than the competition. Open layered polyfusion technology stops all field points and broadheads. Supposed to replicate a 150-inch Boone and Crockett rack. Stands 56 inches tall and simulates a 200-pound buck. Let's take a look at it. And some assembly required.
We've got a head, horns, feet, and a rod. More feet, rod, another horn.
Before I go putting this together there, I'm just going to show you how this insert comes apart. There's 2 little dowels here, one there, another one there. Comes off, and the piece comes out. If you'll notice, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Top and bottom you can't use. That's pretty handy. Let's see if I can put this thing together.
Oh, let's get this thing together. Heads on. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Horns are on. There we go. See how it's got a little slot in here? And that just slides right on. As you can see, I've got the 2 rods into the ground. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand that up so they make the marks for the right distance, and then I'm going to take the legs off the deer and drive them into the ground. And I'm going to use a 2x4 over the top of them, because if you can see, those are hollow. I've got quite a few rocks in here, and I don't want to chew up the end of this and then not have it fit on the legs. So let me get this done, and we'll get back to you. That was easy. It wobbles around a little bit, but isn't going to tip over or anything there.
Let's put some holes in it. So this is a view of what it looks like from where I'm standing. And I'm shooting a 60-pound bow. It's around 300 feet a second. And if I hadn't mentioned it before, I'm shooting at 30 yards right here.
Here we go. Shooting isn't that great, but target's handling all right. Let's go take a look. Now for the real test. How hard do the arrows come out? And one thing I noticed right off quick, if you watch the bottom of this, there's a pin here and here holding the block in. There's nothing that comes up through the bottom, so that wiggles a little bit. So I'm going to say that you have to put your weight into the edge there to get the arrows out. And that's just how I'm going to do it, right there. And they're coming out pretty good. Like I said there, you want to make sure that you put your leg up against that to pull them out there, because that does go back and forth a little bit. But the arrows come out pretty decent. I'm glad I got the one that was 5 times bigger. Yeah, I did do that on purpose, just to show you how that comes out of the body as well.
And I did shoot that one into the body there on purpose there, just to show you that they come out of the body almost as easy. It's made out of pretty much the same material. So what do I like about it? I like the fact that the insert can be changed easily. It's just a couple of pins, only takes a minute. I like the fact that it has 4 sides and the vitals are in a different spot on each side, so you're not wearing the target out too quick.
Each side is marked for how you're supposed to shoot at it. This one 20 feet pre-stand or 30 feet pre-stand. This one is quartering away, straight on, and straight on horizontally. I don't know. Anyway, so that's supposed to show the vitals for the angle that you're shooting at, so they're a little bit different.
One other thing I'm going to add here is that this target, I don't know if I've shot, yeah, I guess I have shot at all the sides there. Has over 1,000 rounds in it. I'm shooting a 60-pound bow around, I don't know, 300 feet a second, somewhere around there. And I haven't had an arrow go through it yet, and they come out reasonably easy. If you watch close, it's kind of a soft material. I have not tried broadheads in it yet, and I've got a feeling with this spongy material that it probably won't hold up very well. I could be wrong, and I'm going to try it a little bit later on there, and maybe I'll do another video on that. What I don't like about the GlenDel deer is the way the legs are designed to fit on the body. It just doesn't hold up very well, and I made some modifications there that I'll show you here in a minute. The other things, the legs are hard plastic, so you definitely don't want to shoot them in the legs with an arrow. You probably break an arrow or mess up the leg, one of the two. Those are my 2 biggest complaints. This is on the inside of the target there, and if you see this right here, if you don't shoot very well and you shoot it a lot in the bottom half of this target, I think, you know, that could be an issue over time there. I could see this breaking right in half if you shot it a lot right in this section right here. You see how this insert slides back and forth? At first I thought that might be a issue there, but you know, after 1,000 arrows it hasn't popped out of there at all. The only thing is sometimes you shoot the first arrow and it'll push out, and then your second arrow is going to be at a different angle, but other than that, that really hasn't been an issue. So I've had quite a few issues with the legs on this GlenDel deer. When I first got the thing, I used the tube that they sent with the deer, and as you can see, I ended up bending it, and the thing was wobbling all over the place. Well, so then I decided I'd use a piece of rebar, and I don't know if you can see it, it's not quite as dramatic, but I bent that too. So it's not just the tube. So I messed with it and messed with it, and finally I decided I'd had enough, and I decided I was just going to build a little platform for it for 2 reasons. Number one, I figured it would make it a little more stable, and or at least I was hoping it would. And secondly, then I'd be able to move it around. It wouldn't be just in one spot, you know, which is a lot more handy. So let me show you what I've done. Took a piece of plywood, and this particular piece is just one I had laying around, and it's about 20 inches wide and about, I don't know, 35 inches long. And you could probably get away with something a little bit shorter there, like 30 inches, but I wouldn't go much less than that because the legs are 25 inches apart. But anyway, all I did is the lag bolt there, is like I said, the legs are 25 inches apart, and I just drilled 2 holes in it. So then I took a couple of these bolts, lag bolts here, and they're about 5 inches, 4.5, 5.5, something, that doesn't really matter. And I drilled the 2 holes in the plywood and stuck these up through and put a nut on there and screwed it down tight. And then I took the tubing that they sent with the deer, and I cut it down to 6 1/4 inches. And as you can see, That fits right over the bolt. These 3/8 diameter bolts, so it worked out pretty well. I just slide these down in and just set the deer in on top of it, and now it doesn't go anywhere unless I want it to. There's one more modification I made. I took this baling wire there and doubled it over and just went right around both legs, and then took it in the middle and twisted it to cinch it up tight, and now these legs can't come apart. It's pretty rock solid. Even if you elect not to use a plywood base, I should add that you can also buy a metal stand that's made for these things here, that's telescoping and will fit any other deer. But even if you decide not to go that route, I would highly recommend, after you set your pins into the ground and set your deer up, either taking a piece of wire or a piece of rope and cinching those two legs together there. The thing just ain't gonna be very sturdy if you don't do it. Other than that, I think it's held up pretty well for the amount of arrows I put into it.